The idea of classic cars making a comeback, like a modern take on the Chevy Chevelle SS people are talking about, sounds promising. Especially when cars like the Dodge Challenger Hellcat, Ford Mustang GT, and Chevrolet Camaro SS have kept the muscle car legacy alive. But instead of excitement, the news has stirred up some serious debate. What was meant to honor one of America's most iconic muscle cars? The 1970 Chevelle SS has left car enthusiasts feeling frustrated and let down. So, what went wrong? Why are so many fans upset? The Chevelle holds a special place in automotive history, but it seems like its legacy is staying in the past. Earlier this year, Chevrolet officially said goodbye to the sixth-generation Camaro as the last one rolled off the production line. Now, with the electric vehicles era taking over, it feels like there's no room for the old-school muscle cars we grew up loving. So, why can't the internet just let the Chevelle rest in peace? Many fans remember the 70 SS concept car created by Trans Am Worldwide a few years back. Sure, that car was cool, and Trans Am Worldwide even planned to produce a limited run of them for $175,000 each. But let's be real, that wasn't really a return of the Chevy Chevelle as we know it. But despite all that, the comeback story doesn't seem to excite some fans, and that's starting with the styling. Chevrolet's style was inspired by the legendary 1970 Chevelle SS, but many fans say the new design misses the mark completely. Take the front grille, for example. While it might remind some of the original, it's packed with sleek LED lights that longtime fans don't like. The car's overall shape is another issue. The body lines, while bold and muscular, lack the clean and simple charm of the classic Chevelle. Then there's the roof and window area, known as the greenhouse. It has a modern, aerodynamic look that feels like a total departure from the boxy, unmistakable profile of the original 1970 model. For many fans, the biggest disappointment is how far the new design strays from Chevelle's classic styling. The 2025 version has sharp, angular lines and a low-slung profile that might be aerodynamic, but just doesn't have the same presence as the original. The signature squared-off front end is gone, replaced by a slim, tapered nose designed more for fuel efficiency. And what about the iconic Coke bottle shape that made the Chevelle instantly recognizable? That's been ditched, too. The new design opts for a flatter, more uniform side profile, leaving fans wondering, is this even a Chevelle anymore? Well, believe it or not, for many, it feels like Chevrolet abandoned everything that made the Chevelle a true American icon in the first place. Yup, that's right. The new Chevelle we're talking of coming, it's nearly 10 inches longer and 4 inches wider than its predecessor. Some people love the added size, saying it gives the car a more modern and commanding presence. But others argue that it's lost the compact, aggressive stance that made the original so special. Step inside, and the debate heats up even more. The interior is packed with high-tech features, which is great for some, but for others, it's just not what a muscle car should feel like. Gone are the simple, round gauges that were easy to read at a glance. Instead, you get a completely digital display that looks nice, but feels a bit strange. And let's talk about that huge touchscreen in the middle. It controls everything, from the climate to the driving modes. Sure, it's convenient, but does it belong in a muscle car that's supposed to be about raw power and driving thrills? Even the materials in the interior have sparked frustration. For a car that's not exactly cheap, some fans were expecting top-notch finishes. Instead, there are hard plastics and synthetic materials where you'd hope for something more premium. The engine is the heart of any muscle car, and it's here that the 2025 Chevelle SS has made the biggest waves. Instead of the powerful V8 that made the Chevelle famous, Chevrolet has gone with something completely different, a hybrid powertrain. This decision has divided fans, with some seeing it as innovative and others calling it a betrayal. The base model comes with a turbocharged V6 hybrid system that cranks out around 500 horsepower. On paper, those are impressive numbers, but many enthusiasts feel something is missing. Where's the deep, thunderous growl of a classic muscle car engine? For Chevelle lovers, that sound is just as important as the performance, and the hybrid setup simply doesn't deliver the excitement they wanted. Then there's the transmission, or lack of choice. The 2025 Chevelle only comes with a 10-speed automatic. For fans of the manual gearbox, this is a huge letdown. Shifting gears yourself is a big part of what makes driving a muscle car so engaging, and taking that away feels like a step in the wrong direction for many. Chevrolet has also packed the car with modern tech like launch control and electronic driving aids. Sure, These features make it easier to go fast, but isn't part of the fun of a muscle car the challenge of taming its power? Critics argue that these systems take away the skill and connection that true enthusiasts crave. And while the hybrid powertrain delivers solid performance, the added weight from the electric components is hard to ignore. At over 4,200 pounds, the 2025 Chevelle is heavier than it should be for a car with an SS badge. This weight slows it down, with a 0-60 miles per hour time of 5.2 seconds respectable for a regular car, but disappointing for a supposed muscle car. Of course, not everyone is upset. Some people love the modern powertrain and the efficiency it brings. They see it as a way to keep muscle cars alive in an era dominated by electrification. But for others, the lack of a manual option, the absence of that classic V8 rumble, and the extra weight make it feel like the Chevelle has lost its soul. Now the price tag on the 2025 Chevelle SS70 has become one of its most controversial talking points. Starting at around $75,000, it's left many fans asking, who is this car really for? Muscle cars have always been about power, style, and affordability, a dream car for the average enthusiast. But at this price, it feels more like a luxury item for collectors than a true muscle car for the masses. Critics argue that Chevrolet has completely missed the mark on who the Chevelle should appeal to. Instead of focusing on gearheads who love the raw, unpolished charm of muscle cars, they've added luxury features and high-tech gadgets aimed at a broader, wealthier audience. Does this mean Chevrolet is more interested in impressing high-end buyers than staying true to the Chevelle's roots? Adding fuel to the fire is the decision to manufacture the new Chevelle outside the US, with production slated to take place in Mexico. For a car so deeply tied to American automotive history, this move has left a bitter taste for some fans who feel it undermines the Chevelle's cultural significance. Is this just cost-cutting? And then there's the limited production run. Only 1,970 units will be made, a nod to the iconic 1970 model. On the surface, this sounds like a fun tribute, but in reality, it's led to concerns about inflated prices and dealer markups. Instead of making the car accessible to passionate drivers, it risks becoming a collector's item that spends more time in garages than on the road. At its core, the Chevelle has always been a muscle car for the people, affordable, powerful, and unapologetically American. But with its steep price, luxury features, and limited availability, the 2025 model feels like it's lost touch with what made the original so special. So, is the high price justified by the modern upgrades, or has Chevrolet priced the Chevelle out of the hands of the very people who made it a legend? As of now, there's no clear plan from Chevrolet to bring back the Chevelle, and if it ever does return, it's unlikely to have the roaring V8 that muscle car fans adore. Instead, it might debut as an all-electric performance model, aligning with the EV future Chevrolet is moving toward. This has caused many Chevelle fans to turn against its comeback next year, with some now even hating it for the changes. What do you think about the rumors and all the talk about the Chevelle possibly coming back? Do you think there's anything wrong with how things are shaping up, or are you just excited to see what happens next? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. And hey, if you enjoyed this, don't forget to subscribe to support our channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one.